Juneteenth gained national attention in 2020. But did you know it has its own flag? And it just became a national holiday in the US? We decoded the history of Juneteenth and what it means today. Juneteenth dates back to June 19, 1865. Technically, the end of slavery came more than 2 years earlier, in 1863, after President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. But places still under Confederate control didn't acknowledge the decree. Slaveholders migrated to the Deep South as a way to keep their property. By 1865, there were more than 250,000 enslaved people in Texas. On June 19th, Union soldiers arrived in Galveston, Texas to take command of 2,000 federal troops. As they marched, Union soldiers read General Order No. 3, which declared all slaves free. The moment marked the original Juneteenth, which would be celebrated for years to come. Austin, Texas held some of the first documented celebrations after 1865. Photos from 1905 show African Americans parading down streets in Richmond, Virginia. In Houston, people decorated floats for Juneteenth festivities in 1906. But around the same time, former Confederate states began passing Jim Crow laws, making it difficult for Black people to congregate. The Texas State Fair reinvigorated celebrations in the South in the 1930s. It served as a well-known, but still segregated, meeting spot for festivities. Decades later, Texas became the first to officially recognize Juneteenth as a state holiday in 1980. Then came Florida in 1991 and Oklahoma in 1994. By 1997, Juneteenth had its own flag. The white star represents Texas, the Lone Star State, where slaves were the last to find out they were free. And its patriotic colors are a reminder that slaves and their descendants are all Americans. By the 21st century, communities across America were celebrating Juneteenth.
Historically, when we think about, holidays like the 4th of July, clearly that wasn't for Black people. And so I think Juneteenth has sort of come in and is a substitute day for Black people to really celebrate our experience in the country.
The Black Lives Matter movement brought national attention to the holiday in the summer of 2020.
No peace! Police!
For the first time, companies like Nike, Twitter, and Uber gave employees a paid day off to commemorate Juneteenth.
Please do your research on Juneteenth. Understand why it is so important to us.
This year, President Biden made Juneteenth the nation's 12th federal holiday.
I think this will go down for me as one of the greatest honors I will have had as president.
The resolution went from the Senate to the House to Biden's desk in the week leading up to the holiday. And it comes after House member Sheila Jackson Lee first introduced the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act in 2020. After 156 years, Juneteenth celebrations nationwide are here to stay.
Making Juneteenth a national holiday is important because it really just celebrates the true freedom of Black people in this country.
Black